G'day legends, I hope you're all fantastic. Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Tones on the AM4. On today's video, we're bringing the absolute filth and the giant chungus by checking out some of the RECTO models. I've currently got my Les Paul in drop D plugged into the AM4. If we enter amp mode on the AM4, you can see that I've got the RECTO 1 Red amp model. This is based on an early 2-channel dual rectifier, I believe either a Rev F or a Rev G. It sounds very similar to my transition model Rev G that I've got on here. So I'm guessing it's probably a Rev G. Nonetheless, it sounds absolutely gigantic and filthy. However, I think rectifiers are sometimes a little bit misunderstood, and I want to show you a couple of very straightforward tips and tricks to dial in these models. I've got the amp model, RECTO 1 Red, at the stock settings. You do have a bunch of other channels available in here. You've got the RECTO 1 Orange Modern and Orange Normal. There's also models of a 3-channel Recto. They're the RECTO 2 models in there. I've gone with the RECTO 1 Red model. I'd encourage you to try out the Orange Modern and the RECTO 2 models on there if you want a crushing modern high gain tone. Don't overlook the normal modes as well for some lower gain tones as well. Now I've got the amp model and the cab model at the stock settings. I've just loaded it up. It comes paired with this 4x12 RECTO straight IR in here. Let's just have a listen to it with my Les Paul in drop D. Now that's a lot of fun to play with straight out of the box. It probably conjures up some of the negative connotations a lot of people associate with dual rectifiers, that there's way too much low end, that they're way too fizzy and scooped sounding. It's still kind of awesome though, right? I think the first thing I would tweak on here would be the cab selection. So I've dialed up the same 4x12 RECTO straight cab, but I'm blending mics. I've got a dynamic 2 mic at 55% mix and a ribbon mic at 45% mix on there. The amp's still at the stock settings. Let's hear this now. Now, I'm really familiar with that dynamic and ribbon cab blend on there. I like it. Tweak that to taste. The cab is obviously going to have a massive impact on the overall tone. What I've done now is I've dialed in my preferred settings on channel B of the amp block over here. So I've turned the master volume down quite a bit and compensated by turning the level up. I haven't touched the supply sag, but if you want to emulate the spongy mode of a dual rectifier, crank that up to about 8, 9, or 10 until you get that classic spongy feel out of the RECTO. And then I like to turn the bass and mid-range down a little bit and crank up the treble and the presence. The presence is pretty powerful on here. So let's hear the stock settings over to my preferred settings. It's the same cab setup again. You can hear that it loves a boost in front of it as well. And yes, there's a lot of low end, there's a lot of fizz, but that is the character of a rectifier. You know, you double track or quad track that and slap it into a mix and you get this absolute wall of chungus that is like nothing else. And I use my old Rev G rectifier with a clone into it and a Marshall 4x12 for all of Ragdoll's Back to Zero album on my PRS SC245 in drop C. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change over in the amp block to channel D, where I've loaded up the IR that I made of that very cab in there. And I will put a link to this one in the video description if you wanna try it out for yourself. We'll load up the clone Chiron model in there, and I'll grab my SC245 and riff out. That brings back some really happy memories for me, and I don't think many people would expect a clon and a dual rectifier to work so well together. Just out of curiosity for anyone who wants to know, I have the clon gain almost all the way down. It's at 1, treble and output are cranked on there. It just works so well. I really like the integrated preamp and the Horizon Devices precision drive model on there as well. If you like these kind of videos and you want to support what I'm doing, you can grab my AM4 blocks library or my preset pack, which includes this preset and a bunch of others, along with my free IR. You can check out some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll or my Patreon. I'll play you all out with a few more Ragdoll riffs, a shameless plug. I really like this step flanger model on here as well for some kind of nu metal inspired madness as well. Go and grab your guitars, make some loud guitar noises, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.